Good morning, Grizzled Outdoors. We are out this morning on a little lake near our house, just out for some panfish. And he's going to be using a bobber rig, and I am using just a straight line with a hook and a split shot. And we're going to get fishing here, and hopefully we can get some fish in the boat. As always, if you like the video, make sure you hit the like button below and subscribe to see more content in the future. Thanks for watching. So this is my setup, very basic, just a split shot and then a hook. Put a worm on the hook, cast it out and let it drop down, and usually the fish will hit it as it's dropping. And then because of where we're fishing, once it hits the bottom I just reel it in, otherwise it gets covered in muck and weeds and it doesn't do any good. So.
Yeah, there's the two turtles together. Well, I'm sure so far with no fish.
There we go, fish on. There we go. Decent little pumpkin seed. I don't think we're going to be keeping too many fish unless we get some better size than this, so we're going to let this guy go. What's that?
I'm wondering if I'm a little too deep. Well, guys.
Could be.
I
can't cast crap today. There we go. That's a fish on. Oh, that's a bass, I think.
I believe so.
There we go. Nice little largemouth. Pull him back. There you go. Another little bass.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got a bass.
It might be, but I don't know that you are.
That's okay. See? Bass. Alright.
Fish. Oh, get out of those weeds, you little dang it. Yeah. Give some slack, see if it'll come out of those weeds. Nope, he is wrapped up in there.
You need an anchor for that?
Yep. It's untied.
What's that?
The anchor untied. Well, maybe not even. Swing us around.
Oh, yeah, that actually might do it. I I have interest, but I'm like, I'm not leaving it out there. I know what's going to happen if I leave it out.
Yep, he came off. Fish on. A big mess of weeds. On a little inline spinner. Not huge, but pretty darn fat. He choked that. There we go. Can't get the distance I want. Gotcha. Not big. A little pumpkin seed. Weeds all over the front transducer.
Oh, I believe it.
The screen's just yellow.
Like we're on ground. Whoa.
Yeah. How's it going? That's just a young one. Try to get us a video with it.
I'm trying. We got a little visitor up there.
Yeah, standing on the other side would be nice. There you go. Got to change things up a little bit here. We had to cut the audio on the video. The wind was blowing pretty dang good. And I don't have any of that fancy microphone equipment that eliminates wind noise. So this is what you get. Annie did manage to catch about the smallest bluegill that could actually get her hook in its mouth. I should have kept that little guy for bait. Off camera, I caught a small shiner on an inline spinner, which was fairly surprising to me. I didn't know they would hit something like that, but I used that and set it up on a different rod, hoping to catch something bigger. And shortly after setting up the shiner, I hooked a largemouth bass on the inline spinner that I caught the shiner with. So as I'm fighting that, Annie gives me a hand netting it, and as I'm about to unhook it, I notice my rod with the shiner on it is bouncing around. So I grab that and work the fish and try to reset the camera. It was a little hectic, but we got the camera reset and ended up with a nice pair of largies in the boat. When we were about ready to head in, there was a pretty long line at the boat launch, so we decided to just let the wind drift us across the lake for a while and drag some worms behind us. I've done this on a lake that had a bunch of smallish channel cats in it and had pretty good luck with it. Unfortunately, this crappie was about the only action we had. We may have had a couple other hits, but nothing that we hooked into. All in all, it wasn't a bad day. We had great weather and a good time. So here's a quick rundown on how to fillet fish with an electric knife. Starting behind the pectoral fin, you cut straight down to the spine, then turn the blade flat and cut parallel to the backbone towards the tail. It's basically the same as with a standard fillet knife, so if you know how to do that, you're already ahead of the game. I'm still new to the electric knife, so I'm not as proficient as I'd like to be, but it's definitely a time saver. Again, down to the spine. Turn and cut toward the tail. Down to the spine, turn and cut toward the tail. I don't know who designed this fish cleaning table, but that groove they put in there prevents you from having a nice flat surface, so you have to kind of work around that. Then to remove the meat from the skin, you want to run your knife blade nearly parallel to the table and just push it straight through. You want to be careful though, if your angle is too steep, you'll cut down through the skin, and that makes getting the rest of the meat off of there a much harder process. And you can either take the ribs out of the meat before or after taking it off of the skin. I generally prefer to do it before. Again, ribs out. Blade nearly parallel to the table and push straight through. Ribs out. Blade nearly parallel. Straight through. And you're done. As always, we appreciate you watching, and make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.